Hey everybody, got a big shipment from PGX. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this. I sent 30 comics up PGX. I've used them a couple times now. Having done CGC the first couple times because everybody's, oh, CGC, and because I could go to the comic book store, local comic book store, they submit them. Well, I submitted some comics back in November. It's now April, COVID-19. We're all here at home. I got nowhere to go, but my books are still at CGC some 6 months later. After my third batch of books, it's time I decided to go big. And I sent 30 books, which is the maximum amount that they'll put in a single box shipment back to you. So I don't even remember what I have in here, to be honest. It's only been 5 weeks turnaround time from when I sent them out to come back. And the reason I can't remember is because since that time, I've also sent some another smaller batch of 12 and a couple a small batch of 3 that was some old ones, and I got another box of 30 that I sent out. As soon as I saw this coming back, I sent 30 more books up to them to go ahead and done, because I got a stockpile here to go through. And actually the funny thing is, today those books have been in there for 2 weeks. I got the invoice from them, told me the grading's done, they're getting ready to start sealing them up. They've been in there for 2 weeks. I did not pay for expedited shipping. They're coming back. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up here. I should probably have been doing this already, because the reality is that I know that it takes a while to get into the armor that they plug here. As a matter of fact, I may end up fast forwarding through this when I'm hitting the post. But in the meantime, we'll go ahead and open this up. I'll show you guys I haven't gotten in here. We got some nice heavy duty armor on top of these things. I'm going to put these out of the way. I can see there's packing peanuts in here, which I'm going to try to get this stuff out of the box without getting packing peanuts all over the place, because I hate having to clean my garage afterwards. Again, really effective. Put these all around the edges, tops and bottoms, armoring these books, protecting them from shipping. Of course, the stack of bags that they send you to put your grit slabs in, I really don't use these because I have my own that I use that are self-sealing that I prefer and look a little bit more transparent. The images stand out a little bit better, but I do appreciate that they send them to you. Again, these are now all blue shrink wrapped and bubble wrapped in here, and a bunch of those. And we got here at the bottom of this box, I will tell you, there's about 4 inches of packing styrofoam peanuts with another one of these big armoring things at the bottom and more packing peanuts on that. So they did a really good job packing these up. If these things came back damaged, I would be surprised, especially since I'm in California and they're just up in Oregon. It's not like I'm shipping them across the country as I would with the old CGC. So we'll get through these really quick. Fortunately, I have a new blade, so I can cut through this pretty quick, try and make sure I don't really look to see what's in here. That way it's kind of a surprise to me, and we're seeing it together at the same time. These aren't really, they're not old books. These were all, I've been on a binge lately of getting a bunch of various variants, limited run prints. So most of these are really new books that I got here. I'm going to put this upside down so I can't see the tops that are labeled. So I think there might be 1 or 2 older books in here that we'll take a look at. One of the things I did try out, and we'll check this out, is I did find out from watching some of the YouTube buddies out there on We Love Comics mentioned that PGX was starting to, oops, don't want to see that, starting to do grading notes on the backs of the comics. And it's something that they don't advertise yet because, well, if I take one of these here, I'm going to make sure I don't look at the front, but if I look at the back side here, I put that up, obviously you can see their label. It's got writing right here across it, and it's not set up, but they're trying to do, apparently they're putting the grading notes right there on the back of the comic if you request it. It's a $5 fee, but when you're talking about the questions of transparency or grading, and let's be honest, you know, for whatever reason, well, we know why, because CGC has a campaign against everybody in the world out there trying to have market domination, so they help to spread the rumors. And the comic book shops that help out the guy who gets the occasional slab graded, so he doesn't want to pay a membership. The local comic book shop gets a piece of that action when they do it for you. So everybody's bad mouthing PGX, but the reality situation is grading is subjective. I've watched a billion videos of other guys that have sat there and taken one book, unbroken the slab out, and gone to another one. At the end of the day, they're all really close, except when they go and do something like they go, well, I got those PGX, and you can see it was an 8.5, but I pressed it, cleaned it, now it came back a 9.4. See how the difference is? Well, yeah, you had it pressed and cleaned, you moron. Of course there's a difference. Anyway, so here we go. We got our stacks here of books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't have 30 books here, which is concerning to me right off the bat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Oh, I counted wrong. We're good. Oh, I already see I do have one broken slab. So I will reach out to PGX on my next shipment. I know that they'll go ahead and replace that. No problem for us. But so let's go ahead and take a look here. So this first one, I don't know what it is. I'm going to pull it up. I know that we have grading notes on the back. This one was, oh, yeah. This is X-Men 244 is the first appearance of Jubilee. And this one here is... it's got grading notes on the back of it. It says multiple stress lines and creases along the spine, minor cover wear. Well, I'm not surprised. This is actually one of my wife's comic books that she collected back in the 80s. And when I found her box of comics in the garage, half of them weren't bagged or boarded. They were just kind of slipped in there. Some of them had bags and no boards and nothing else. And so I went through and with this whole cataloging inventory process, grading, put them in bags and boards and whatnot. So this one is one that we had it pressed and 9.2. I'm very happy with that because, to be perfectly honest, my initial grade on this before it was pressed and stuff, I had it at like a 7.5, which is probably being super, super conservative. Matter of fact, I know it was because I kind of graded them in bulk, whole messes of them. And the only reason why I would set this one off was it was in better condition. So 9.2, very happy. I wouldn't have expected much more than that, that's for sure. All right, this one's another one here. This is X-Men 221, right? This is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. Again, we have a 9.2 on that one there. Very good. Grading notes on the back. I'm going to try to come around my table here so I can get these grading notes so maybe you can see with this glare, I don't know, but the grading notes listed right up here, right above it. You can see where this gets in the way. So they really need to redesign this. If they drop this down, then we can go ahead and get that cleaned up. So I'm going to try something with the lighting here. Hey, Google, turn off the shop lights. Is that maybe too dark? That's even worse. Hey, Google, turn on the shop lights. I'm in the garage, so lots of glare, kind of funky. We'll adjust the camera a little bit. But anyway, so they'll remove this. They'll have to change this around and stuff before they make this a go live thing. But anyways, so there you are. First appearance, Mr. Sinister 9.2. Again, one of my wife's comics that was just thrown in the box with a bag, no board, whatnot. So the fact that it got through there really well. Grading notes, again, multiple minor stress lines along the spine, cover, edge, and wear. Groovy. So our next one here. X Factor number 15. First appearance of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Again, at 9.2. Very happy with that. Again, let's see. This is multiple stress lines along the spine. Big surprise. I mean, these were books. My wife, when she got these, she shared them with two brothers, and they were read and used. And obviously, the fact that they put them in a box was at least something there. So cool. Very good. All right, what we got here? This one, X Factor number 6, the first full appearance of Apocalypse, 9.0. What do we got here on the back? Grading notes. multiple very minor stress lines along the spine, very slight stain on the back cover. So let's see if we can take a look. Oh, yep, there it is. Sure enough, I don't know if you can see that in there in the lighting, but there's a stain on the cover there. So fair enough. Very good. All right. That's oh yeah, this corner's bad, and there's yeah, that's good. And I know that it's definitely nothing more than that. X Factor number 1. So we're going through one of the ones that were the older ones that were in here. I forgot I sent this many of my wife's old comics in here. X Factor number 1. The original first appearance of X Factor, first appearance of Cameron Hodge and Rusty Collins. Grading notes on the back. 1/4 corner crease on back cover. Multiple very minor stress lines along the spine. And sure enough, you take a look at it. You can see those. I can see the little crease on the corner down in here. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get that on the camera with the glare and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, it's really kind of cool that they're putting those notes on there instead of having to go and request them or anything else. It's right there. Not only do you know, hey, why they're there. What I did is when I sent these books, I actually, I just asked for the grading notes on any book that was graded less than a 9.8. It was a 9.8 or above. I didn't care what the grading notes were, to be honest with you, because nobody else is really going to care. They're going to basically consider that a darn near flawless book. But if it was less than that, I wanted the grading notes. I asked them to do it. Boom, they put them on there. Now, there's no question down the road if anyone wants to look at this, why is this book a 9.2? There it is on the back. And sure enough, you can match it up and confirm it's all right there. Brilliant. Love it. All right, I can see this one has no grading notes, so we must be hitting the 9.8. And sure enough, this is one of these ones from KRS. Venom, number 1. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, cover homage, KRS exclusive comic. So there we are, 9.8. Beautiful. Love this book. Symbiote Spider-Man number 1, the Symbiotes KRS exclusive cover on there again. I don't know, Sanctum Sanctorium Comics and Oddities exclusive variant. Well, whatever. I got it from KRS, one of those things where they're grouped up together. You know how it is. Oh, it does say Sanctum Sanctorium on the back. Interesting. Oh, cool. 9.8. Beautiful. Another 9.8. Star Wars number 26. It's a incentive sketch variant. This is a 1 in, I don't remember, I think this is 1 in 100 variant. Exclusive, picked up from someplace. Beautiful. 9.8 on there. Again, I don't have any grading notes on these 9.8, so I can't really go into much detail about them. But you know, there's another sketch incentive. 9.8. Star Wars number 24. Beautiful. That is looking good. Very sharp. I love these cases, by the way. One of the things I didn't like about PGX back in the day was the old labels looked so janky. But these new labels they're using, these are wonderful labels. They look beautiful. I like the muted colors as opposed to the CGC colors that stand out. So it's the comic, the art. I get these slabbed for the art. I like to preserve them. I love the art on these things, and this allows it to showcase the art first, and then the grade pops out of it, and then there's the rest of the label. The only really drawback I've really had with these new labels is this top label that's a sticker on the top side. CGC used to use these before, and they peel off. They just come loose over time. Now, fortunately, I'm going to put these in protective bags, and they're going to go in the boxes on the shelf. And, some of them will rotate through my wall hangers in the living room on a rotation. But anyways, so here we go. Spider-Geddon number 1. This is a KRS exclusive variant. Again, these had some limited runs. They didn't print the run variant on here. I have it printed down somewhere else what it is. But that book right there is a beautiful book, 9.8. Love it. Spider-Man number 1, right? McFarlane. So this bag, I had no idea what I was going to get out of this book when I sent this in, because this was in the sleeve. When you bought this book, it came bagged in a poly bag. And so this was in the poly bag. I had never opened it up, never seen the book. Sent it to them in the poly bag. I didn't want to get my fingerprints on it, nothing else. I had all these books, by the way. I had them pre-screen them for pressing, and that's something, if you didn't know, you can do. You send them up there, you mark it for pre-screen. They'll look at every single book, and if it can do better by having press on it, they will press it and charge you for the press. If pressing it's not going to do it any good from a grading standpoint, then they're not going to waste the time and charge you the money. Of these, I think it was like 8 of these books got pressed. All the rest of them were fine the way they are. But so this guy right here, Todd McFarlane, Spider-Man #1, 9.6. I will take that. I bought it off eBay. Like I said, it was polybagged. I have no idea what I was going to get from it, but that's awesome. All right, here's another one of the breakfast cereal ones here from KRS Comics, Black Flag exclusive. The Scream Curse of Carnage #1, 9.8. This is great. I actually have another one of these already in my bins at a 9.8 as well. This one I wasn't sure. I know they pressed this one because in order to get a 9.8, because it had a little bit of a thing in the corner, but it is gone. So that is good. Beautiful. 9.8. I don't know if I'll hang on to both of them or if I'll end up getting rid of one of them. Who knows? And the only reason I have 2 of them was because one of them came in a mystery box from KRS that included a bunch of stuff. So great. Oh, here's another one that came out of a mystery box of stuff I got from Unknown Comics. Actually, I bought a mystery box of stuff, and this is Jean Grey #1, the Hans variant. This was an exclusive. This was a variant, incentive variant. So there we are, 9.8 on that guy right there. Trying to get this without as much glare on it for you guys. Maybe if I brought it a little bit closer, I don't know. I guess you're seeing the camera then. Where can we get a good look at these? Who knows? Well, 9.8, awesome. All right, this is another one out of mystery box. Marvel Legacy #1, a first appearance of the 1 million years BC Avengers and the return of Wolverine. Black and white double folded gatefold variant. Sure enough, there is sheet. You can see the art comes around the back side as well as on the front side. There you go. I guess if I hold it at a slight angle, that helps to cut down the glare off there. So that's great. 9.8. Can't complain. You can't complain at all, right? That's just like a filler word. It's a crutch. And my old days in radio, you say I can't complain. Of course you can't complain about getting a 9.8. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Anyways, all right, the last of my breakfast cereal variants here. Absolute Carnage #1, Murderos, Surprise Inside, Killer Serial Killer. Great. Again, this was a KRS, but of course it's labeled on the back, Sanctum Sanctorum. So another one of their shared partner deals there. So great, 9.8 on there. That's the first stack. Now we're into stack #2. Let's see what we got here. Rolling off the rim. Another old. Ooh, wow. That cleaned up beautifully to get a 9.8 out of there. X-Men 297. Can't exactly remember why the heck I sent this book, to be honest, other than that maybe it just happened to be good looking and pretty old, but I did not expect a 9.8 out of that. Wow. I hate to say anything bad about PGX because I've been so happy. Oh, there's a cracked case. This is the one with the cracked case. But I'll be honest with you, I disagree with their rating on here. I would say that this is probably a 9.6. I see a couple little. I'm going to try, but I don't think you could dare to see them on there. There's a couple little minor creases. You see a little bit better here on this one. I don't know if you can see it with the glare. It's hard to get in there. But the corners are incredibly crisp there. And I would have assumed that a book this age would have had off. I thought this one had off-white pages, but they got it marked as white. So I'm happy with it, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think that that's accurate. I think that one is a little bit overgraded. I think it's probably a 9.6 at best. But hey, what are you gonna, it's a subjective grading system, right? So what are you going to do? You can't, I mean, this is the thing, is we can all have our opinions and about this and that and the other thing, but at the end of the day, it's subjective. This is my opinion, and I'm not a grader. I haven't been doing stuff. These guys do it for a living. You know, maybe those are the only two flaws, and so those are what talks it down to a 9.8 instead of a 10. Because that's the thing that's great about PGX. I love, as I'm like not on camera talking here, but the you know, they actually started at 10 when they start doing their knockdowns versus you know, I've heard some people complain that CGC potentially is, you know, starting at a 9.8 or a 9.9 before they even start taking ticks off for their knockdowns. And on top of that, you know, I'll be honest, I've gotten several books back from them the last go around that were highly questionable. I've got a 298, 299 ASM that I got recently that it's hard to, again, they're like that X-Men book there. My inclination would be is that they're maybe a 9.6, that they're really not a 9.8. But that's what the grade is on there. That's what it got. So it's subjective. It is what it is. But hey, it's bank error in your favor, right? All right, Harley Quinn, number 1, 9.8. This is great. I had one of these it's the CGC 9.8, and I got this one here. So that gives me a second Harley Quinn number 1. I can do some horse trading with this one or the other one, one or the other. Doesn't really matter, depending upon what I'm horse trading and who I'm horse trading with. But beautiful. Harley Quinn number 1, 9.8. I won't even tell you. I think I paid like $20 for that on eBay. Oh, beautiful. There's another one I paid almost nothing for. Daredevil number 2. I got this one. I'm not a Daredevil fan. I got this one because I am a J. Scott Campbell fan, and it's a J. Scott Campbell cover. So 9.8 out of it. Again, very happy with that. Yeah, it pressed beautifully. Because I know it wasn't when I was sending it in. It was not a 9.8 at the time, but I'll tell you, looking at it right now from it is clean as all hell in here. That is for sure. It pressed out beautifully. I love the little detail in here. I mean, I don't know if you can see it. There's all this, you know, here's Black Widow and Daredevil, but down here in the corner, this little woman, you know, staring out in her towel, screaming out the window at these guys. Pretty funny. All right, what do we got next? Batman number 600. Pulling out of my Batman collection. Again, one of these books I just pulled out of. I always liked this cover. So kind of one of the reasons it went there. Batman versus Nightwing. It says backup story with art by Sergio Arganos. Beautiful 9.8s. I think the bulk of these, the rest of these might be all getting a lot of these. Okay, so here we got Batman 570. Joker and Harley Quinn appearance from No Man's Land. I guess there are a few older books in here than I thought I sent out. That's kind of good. A 9.8 on that. I will definitely be happy with that there. A lot of black on that cover, which makes it really tough to get on an older book that's been raw for a while. Again, this is one of those ones I'm sure they pressed it because I don't remember it looking this good, and it looks like a 9.8. That's for sure. Beautiful. Here we go. Batman 567. Obviously, I missed the big upswing with this one, with the Birds of Prey movie that caused this book to spike near $200 at one point on a 9.8. I actually have a CGC version, so again, this becomes another copy for me do some horse trading with. But I actually really love Cassandra Cain and as Batwoman and the all Orphan and all the other stuff. Great book to have. Love having a second copy there as a 9.8. Beautiful. Oh, this is disappointing. 9.4 on this one. What do we got on our grading notes? Multiple very minor stress lines along the spine. And I tell you what, I am hard pressed to see them. Well, there's right there near the staple, there's a spot, but okay, well, 457. This is the first official Tim Drake as Robin. This is also an error variant here. This is the 000 indica error. So when you open up the cover and it tells you what version it is, it says 000 instead of 1. So this is an error, a printing error, that variant, and that's why I'm really kind of disappointed to see it come back in 9.4. Really was hoping for a higher grade on it with an error variant, just because it's more valuable. But then again, we're not really always in this for the value, right? It's like a hobby. It's for the art. It's for the fun. Oh yes, J. Scott Campbell can draw Mary Jane like there is no tomorrow. I tell you what, I love it. Amazing Spider-Man 14 sketch cover, variant cover. Yeah, 9.8, beautiful. Her in those little torn jeans. I tell you what. Another 9.8, Amazing Spider-Man number 2, second appearance of Cindy Moon. So here we go. This is from volume 3 of Amazing Spider-Man, by the way. So 9.8. That's another one that's really hard. These so much white on the cover, these black and white covers, so hard to get the 9.8 on something like that. It's got to definitely is worthwhile to have those, pay to have those pressed and cleaned, so that way they get there, because a little smudge doesn't take much. You just lose the value. Oh God, I love this cover. Again, Scott Campbell and Mary Jane. Oh my God, and that leg just goes for days. I mean, there may be proportion issues that comic artists seem to have with these things, but sometimes those errors are just do something. It's a beautiful cover. This one is going in the house, going to go on the wall for sure. Because I used to come before this one got slabbed. I came out here periodically and I would just look at it. I just love this cover. Amazing Spider-Man number 2, 9.8. Gorgeous. Oh, set that one aside. That is going in the house for sure. All right, what we got? They put this one in backwards, or maybe not. I can't tell. No, I guess it's not. Okay, fair enough. Amazing Spider-Man number 1. It looks like it's in backwards because when I'm looking at the backside, we have all the trade here, right? And so my initial gut was that this is in backwards. But when I look at where the staples are here, so that it tells us that yes, this is the front of the book. The front of the book's plain like this. The back has the trade. So there we go. This is a 9.4, slight 1-inch spine bend at the top, front to back cover. Sure, I see some stress marks for there for sure. I don't doubt it. This was, all right, 9.4. Still, that's a beautiful cover. Some of these things, it's not really about the grade; it's about getting that artwork and looking at. And when you display this is a book that just displays beautifully. And that's what I love about this. All right, what we got here? Oh, yes. Another one here. Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This would be volume, this is Spider-Man 802 in continuity. So this is the current run so it's volume 6, Amazing Spider-Man, I suppose it is. KRS Comics, Scott Collectibles, convention exclusive variant, 9.8, black Spider-Man sitting there perched up like a gargoyle. Oh, that is a nice looking book. 9.8. Very happy on that. This one looks like an older book, judging from the back of it, because I can see these Legos and kind of an opaque thing. So this is, yes. Oh, good. This right here. Amazing Spider-Man 210. First appearance of Madam Web. I tell you what, this is one of these stories of when you're buying and selling and trading comics and stuff. And I know some people like to poop on eBay, but I like to use eBay. It's simple. It's easy. And I feel like there's a little bit of recourse there when something goes wrong. And there's a guy I came across that I've actually kind of become friends with. We've done a bunch of stuff. I bought a bunch of old Batman stuff off of him. He had some beautiful old books that were in the near mint range. And he pinged me. He said, "Hey, I know you've been buying Batman, but are you interested in Spider-Man?" I said, "Yeah." And he told me he had this book and he wanted to sell it. And we came to what I thought was a very fair price at about $70 based on the pictures I saw of it. Was hoping it would come back about a 8.5 or a 9. They pressed it, cleaned it, and That is looking mighty nice at a 9.2. I will tell you what. Grading notes just say minor foxing and several stress lines along the spine. Well, that is without a doubt what I would expect on this book. And sure enough, there's a couple of spine marks, ticks along here, and I can see kind of behind the cover some foxing on the pages. So yeah, absolutely 9.2. Super stoked. Came in right where I was hoping. All right. I can see this one has a lot of notes on the back of it, so we know this one's not a 9.8. Nope, 7.5. Okay, this one, again, this is another one I got off of them. And this one I knew was going to come back lesser because there's actually some missing color here in Spider-Man's arm. It looks like somebody set something round on it at one point, maybe a kind of tight turn for it to be a cup or something, but who knows. And there's some staining on the front. That was so I knew this one was not going to come back. Anything else, I hoped it might hit an 8. 7.5 is pretty damn close. So what do they have to say about this one? It says multiple stress lines along the spine, minor stains on the front cover, slight paper pull on front cover, slight dirt on back cover. Well, yeah, it's definitely that. No doubt. All right, 7.5, still not bad. It's hey, the book's from 1968, for God's sakes, right? So what are you going to do? I know I got a couple that are coming back that are a couple of ASMs I sent up there that I got that are going to be coming back. I'm hoping to just get 3s when they come back because they're really beat up, tore up. But it was one of those things where the guy offered me a deal that, you said, well, I don't normally buy books. Didn't really care about those books, but at that price, who could say no? All right, last one. Here we go. Invincible Iron Man #1. Rory Williams is Ironheart. All right, 9.8. That's not the book. I don't remember sending this book, actually. This must mean that my book that's the first cameo appearance of Rory Williams is up there still, because that was the book I thought was coming back, but this is not that. All right, so 9.8. So there we go. So overall, did pretty well. You can't complain, right? 30 books. If we did I do a quick sort here, and again, there are some older books in there, so that was to be expected. What is it? This is. There's another one I might send up. There's some abrasions along the side here, and it's kind of coming open, which is kind of not great. But what do you get? Okay, so 9.8, 9.4, 9.8, 9.8, 9.4, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8. We're doing our quick look. What was our haul? I'll tell you, these books do stack very nice. And here's all 9.8s. I'm going to line them up right. 9.8, 9, 9. All right. So 30 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 29 8s and 10 that were not. Most of the rest of them are all 9s or better, with the exception really of that Spider-Man. The Spider-Man 64, right? Which again, I knew there was no chance in hell that was coming back at a 9. If it had come back at a 9, then I would have been off the PGX bandwagon. But I am still very happy. PGX, love these grading notes on the back. Hopefully, very soon they will move this label and be able to put the notes in here a little bit better, and start making this a regular feature, because I'll tell you, it does remove a lot of question about why the grade is there, what they saw later on down the road. I think it really is going to help to augment that resale value and start to draw some credibility that wrong, whether it's rightful or not. I think it's not rightfully there. Again, I think it's a lot of throwing shade and trying to make them look bad, because we all know how CGC really has their exclusive in the convention market and is so dominant, and they're just trying to make everybody else bad. I mean, a lot of the comments, negative comments about them, come out of the CGC forums and from LCSs who don't get a piece of the action. So I wonder what's their credibility. But overall, like I said, been super happy. Great books, good turnaround. Love it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I will have another one pretty soon because, like I said, I got another 15 books that are, they told me, are currently in the being finalized to get shipped out. And then another 30 books that they just told me today are being labeled. They're graded, they're being labeled, and they expect them to ship back to me in 2 weeks. So I'll do a couple more unboxing videos. Thanks very much, guys. Enjoy.